All right, you guys, let's get started. So what you are looking at here is an Asian-inspired project inspired by a famous woodblock print called The Great Wave by an artist from Japan named Hokusai. And so we are going to do this project based on that lovely print. And if you're really interested in seeing the actual piece, just Google The Great Wave on your computer and you will see the actual print of the actual piece. So what you're going to need today is you're going to need a white piece of paper, and you're going to need a pencil and a Sharpie marker. And then I'm going to name some colors for you, and you're going to need these either in markers, or you'll need oil pastels, or you can do watercolor, or you can do color pencils, or you can do crayons. Okay, so you need a purple, like a lightish purple color, kind of a blue purple, and then you'll need a green, you'll need a couple of different blues, you'll need a yellow, you'll need a couple of different oranges, so like a light yellow orange and then an orange, and then a kind of a red orange color and then a red color. Okay, so those are all the markers that you're going to need, and that's it for supplies. So let's get going on this. Okay, so I'm going to draw with my Sharpie, but you are going to draw with your pencil so that you can adjust if you need to make some adjustments. Okay, so on your white paper you want it to be in landscape mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to begin by drawing our wave. Okay, so starting from the right side of your paper, think about half the size of a finger is where we'll start at the height, and you're going to come down and sort of make a very relaxed wave. And then look how I'm coming up there. This is where we're going to make the actual wave part. So you come up here and you kind of curl around, okay? And then you come back and you make that point right there, and you come back and you let the curve go up and kind of go off the page like that, all right? So that is what we have. And then right here where that curl is, we're gonna go ahead and add some more little pieces of these like sharp curved pieces that are gonna be part of that wave. All right, and then on the inside here, we are going to start creating little shapes inside that are kind of long and sweeping. So remember, you don't have to do it exactly like me, but if you want, you can just follow along. You can see what I'm doing. I'm doing it on the inside here, and there's no perfect pattern for this, okay? Sometimes it's gonna be shorter, and sometimes they're gonna be longer. And whatever you do, everything is always appears to be sort of overlapping something else. And if you feel comfortable doing this part with Sharpie, then you definitely can. It's up to you based on your comfort level. But you can see how I'm making these sort of long, wavy, sweeping lines. And you need to keep in mind that when I say wavy, I don't mean like crazy zigzag. I mean sort of very slowly changing waves, okay? You want them to be, the word is undulating, to where they're just kind of very smoothly, you know, like a very small ripple in the ocean or lake. Okay, so you can see I've got really big right there, and that's because I'm going to make smaller ones inside, because I want to follow the shape of my curve as much as possible as I start building into that curl. So you can see that I am building within that space. And here I go. And here I go again with a bigger one. And again, that is because I'm going to build sections within. So again, remember, there's no perfect way to do this. It's just, the most important thing is that you're following the movement of that water, the way that it starts here and it goes around and it curls and comes back down. So you just want to make sure you're following that shape that movement creates by going around, okay? So we're gonna keep going. This is going to kind of trail off. It's going to be cropped on this side of the paper. And then we'll just continue upwards and around. And we'll start building into that curve. And we're going to keep going. And on this, I'm going to start over here on this side so I can really make sure I get that curve or that curl as much as possible. So I did a big one right there again, and that's fine. And here's that, and here's that, and there, and again here. Notice that as I do this, there's no opened sections. Everything is a closed shape within that space, okay? The next thing you're gonna do, and this definitely do it very lightly with your pencil, right here in this area, I want you to go right in the center of sort of this white area. And go ahead and just very lightly draw a small circle, okay? Very, very lightly. I hope you can see it. And then right outside of that, draw another one, okay? And then right outside of that, draw another one. Now, if you need to gather some shapes, some circles that are different sizes in order for you to do this more easily, then stop the video and go get some things like different plates or bowls or quarters or whatever, because you want to have sort of something that looks like a target right here. Okay. And then I'm going to show you how to do this part, and then I'm going to show you how to start doing this part, and then I'm going to let you finish this part on your own. But this part I want you to definitely do right along with me. So you want to organize your warm colors from lightest to darkest, okay? So I have my yellow, I have a yellow-orange, I have orange, and then I have a red-orange, and then I have a red, okay? So that is what I have right now. So with that, I'm going to start in the center, and I'm going to work from the inside out. But more than anything else, pay attention to the way I do this. And you can turn your paper as you're working, okay? So I'm going to use my marker, and I'm actually going to go back and forth from the center out with my color, okay? So that's just the first yellow color. Then I'm going to start with my yellow-orange, and same thing. I'm basically going in and out and around. Think about a sun's rays. Think about that elementary little children sun that you used to make, or maybe you still make it sometimes. And those rays are coming out, and they're going all the way around. So I turned my paper in order to make that work nicely for me. So then after I did my yellow and my yellow-orange, I'm going to go to my orange. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections that are basically created, and I have 5 warm colors from lightest to darkest. So the sections you make, it really should depend on how many of the warm and cool color, the warm colors that you have. So if all you have is yellow, orange, red, then you would need to make the spaces larger in between your circles so that you can, come out from lightest to darkest with the colors that you have. All right, so now I'm coming to regular orange, and same thing. I'm gonna come in, out, in, out. And I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but I am not lifting up my marker at all. And if you were doing this with oil pastel, or if you were doing it with colored pencil, or even with a paintbrush, you would still use the same sort of technique and motion. You would be going in, out, turning your paper as you work so you can maintain that movement of the rays coming out, almost like fireworks. All right, so there's the orange. Now I'm going to go to my red-orange, and I'm going to do the same thing. In, out, in, out. Now I'm getting a little tighter over here because I don't want to go into my ocean, into the waves, because I want that to be my cool colors once I get to that. So going around, Notice it's really starting to look like tie-dye or like fireworks. And I'm not allowing a white ring to separate my sections. I'm definitely using the red orange marker. All the colors are touching one another. All the colors are touching one another, and they are overlapping slightly as they move around one another. Now I'm going to come in here and do my red, or my darker red, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in and out, all the way up to the edge here. I have to go a little bit slower right here where these little waves are. I'm going to just do a little bit slower using the tip. And I'm going to kind of outline around this part of the wave and then move in and out all the way to my edge. So if you only had 3 colors, you would just do the same exact steps, but you would just do it with 3 colors, and the separation between the rings would just be larger, okay? And as you get to this edge, you end up having to pick up your marker more in order to maneuver around the small edges here. And here we go, almost done. And over here at this wave, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a little outline there. Okay, so our sky is done. Isn't that a glorious sunset? Okay, so now, my friends, you're going to focus on using your cool colors to work on your water, okay? So I'm going to start off with you a little bit, and then I'm going to show you the finished result so you can see how to do this. So this is a lavender color. Excuse me. It's a light purple color. And what I like to do with my colors, I like to hop around a little bit. So I'm being efficient with my time. I kind of go through and I'm like, okay, let me just do this lavender color in multiple different places while it's opened, while I'm using it this time. I'm just going to move around and start adding it in various places so I can make sure I've kind of hit a lot of sections. Then I'm going to come in with my ultramarine blue, and I'm going to start filling in sections with that. But I don't want sections right next to each other that are exactly the same. So same thing, I'm going to continue hopping around and changing locations often so that I don't have things right next to each other. I want that variety. That variety is what's going to really make this feel alive and feel exciting to look at. All right, so we're just going to go around. I'm going to use some green because, of course, when we look at the ocean, well, maybe not in Texas as much, but when we do look at the ocean, there are definitely different shades and tints of greens and blues and turquoise and all kinds of different colors in between, shades and tints in between. And then I've got this really dark blue as well that I can put in here. And then if you have like a turquoise, you can use that. If you're using crayons or oil pastels, you can definitely mix those cool colors together to create your waves. And now let me show you the finished result. Okay, so you can see what I have done here. And I am loving this project. I hope you have also enjoyed this project. I can't wait to see what you do, so make sure that you put pictures up online so I can see all the glorious work you're doing. I'm so proud of you guys. All right, can't wait to see what you're up to. Bye.